Spend Time with Duty. Today, we're going to be learning more on squares and square roots. So without further ado, let's get along with the video. So, you might be asking me, we've learned about squares and square roots. So, what's more to learn? Well, you know how to find the square of really small numbers. If I asked you to find the square of 105, that'd be really difficult to multiply, wouldn't it? So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to do that. So the first question we have here is 51 squared. Now, what does 51 squared mean? Well, we know that it means 51 times 51. So what do we have to do? Well, we have to multiply it. Well, this is actually kind of a small number, but when we're doing greater numbers, it'll be really difficult to multiply by using the column method, wouldn't it? So I have a better way. Now, I want you to look at this 51. Well, like I've told you before, it's easier to multiply things that have tens in them, right? Now, actually, there is a 10 in them, right? We can split 51 to 50 plus 1 and the whole square. So 51 can be 50 plus 1 whole squared. So that basically means 50 plus 1 times 50 plus 1. What do we do with these numbers? Well, we have to apply the distributive law. Now, those of you who don't know what the distributive law is when we distribute one number across to the other number. 50 times 50 and 50 times 1, and then 1 times 50 and 1 times 1. 50 times 50. I'm just going to put the bracket to make it easier. Plus 50 times 1. Now 1 times 50 and 1 times 1. 1 times 50 plus 1 times 1. Now this has become a lot easier, hasn't it? We know that 50 times 50 is, well, 5 times 5 is 25 and there are 2 zeros. So it's going to be 2,500. And now the next one is 50 times 1. We know that. That's 50. Another 50 times 1. So that's another 50. And lastly, plus 1. Because 1 times 1 is, well, 1. So now we just have to add them. So it's going to be, this is 50 plus 50 is going to be 100. So it's going to be 2,600 because of the 100 here. And we just have to add the 1. So we basically found the square of 51, which is 2,601. So the next question we have here is 95 squared. 90 plus 5 is still 95, isn't it? And it's going to make the multiplication a lot easier. 90 plus 5, the whole square. Now, why did I put the bracket and put the thing after it? It's because both 90 and 5 are going to be squared, not just 5. If I don't put the bracket, it's going to look like 5 squared. But we need to square 90 as well because it's 95, not 5. So that's why the 5's here. Now let's expand it, and that's going to become 90 plus 5 times 90 plus 5. Now, what do we do next? Remember the distributive law. So what we have to do is distribute 90 across here. So 90 times 90 plus 90 times 5 plus 5 times 90 and 5 times 5. Now we write it down to make our life a bit easier. So 90 times 90. Plus 90 times 5. Now 5 times 90 and 5 times 5. Okie dokie, so we have expanded it. Now we just have to find the answers. So 90 times 90. Let's break this down. 9 times 9 is 81. And then there's 2 zeros. So it's going to be 8100. The next is 90 times 5. We know that 9 times 5 is 45. And there's the 0. So it's going to be 450. Now another 5 times 90. That's going to be a 450 as well. And finally, 5 times 5 is 25. We have to add 450 plus 450. 400 plus 400 is 800. And 800 plus 100, because there are two 50s, are going to be a 900. So 8,100 plus 900 is going to give us 9,000, isn't it? Then we have the plus 25. Now it's easy, isn't it? Yup, that's our answer, 9,025. Now we have 105 squared. Now we know the procedure now, right? It's a bit easier. So let's calm down and split it up first. So we know 100 plus 5 is 105. And 100 happens to be one of the easiest numbers to multiply. Yay! So we can split it up. 100 plus 5 times 100 plus 5. Now, remember, we have to apply the distributive law. And we have to distribute 105 across. So, 100 times 100 plus 100 times 5. 5 times 100 and 5 times 5. Now what do we have to do? We have to multiply. Now, it's going to be 100 times 100 plus 100 times 5. 5 times 100 plus 5 times 5. Now we have to find the answers for these. Now, 100 times 100 is, all we have to do is, what's 1 times 1? That's 1. And now 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 zeros. So I'm just going to put them there. 4 zeros. Now, 100 times 5 is 500. We have another 100 times 5. That's another 500. And 5 times 5 is a 25. Now, let's add them up. So 10,000 plus 500 plus 500 is going to be, because there are two 500s, it's going to be 1,000. So 10,000 plus 1,000 is going to be 11,000. So 11,000 plus 25 is going to be 11,025. That's our answer. I haven't forgotten about the trick of the day. So, today we're going to be learning how to multiply really fast. And when I say, I don't mean like small numbers, I mean really big numbers. But the reason why we're starting off small is because if we understand something that starts with something small, then later we'll be able to do bigger and harder sums. And it'll be really easy. Now, we have 9 times 8. We already know the answer, but let's see how to do it faster. anything that comes in the multiple of 10 is really, really easy to multiply, isn't it? Now, look at this 9 and 8. They're close to 10, aren't they? So let's look at 9. 10 minus 1 is a 9, right? So I'm going to put a minus 1 here. You'll see what I'm going to do in a minute. And now, what's 10 minus 8? It's 2, so minus 2. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to cross them. I'm going to put this symbol here, so it's will be easier. Now, what we have to do is do 8 minus 1, or you could do 9 minus 2. Both ways, you're going to get 7. Now, the next thing we're going to do, so this is going to be the first digit here. Now, what we're going to do is multiply this way. So what's 1 times 2? That's easy, right? It's a 2. So our answer is 72. So the next question isn't hard, but it's harder than the last one. It's 12 times 13. Now, can we relate that with 10? We can. 10 plus 2 is 12 and 10 plus 3 is 13. So I'm going to put a plus 2 because 10 plus 2 is going to become a 12. I'm going to put a plus 3 here because 10 plus 3 is going to become 13. Now I'm going to put the cross and like that. So you try to do this because you'll remember fast how to do it. Now, either we can do 13 plus 2 or 12 plus 3. Both ways, we're going to get 15. Now, we have to multiply these two, and that is 2 times 3. That's a 6. So our answer is 156. Now, this one is actually pretty hard to do if we were doing the column method. So that's why this method is super easy. Now, look at these numbers. What is it close to? 100, yes. So, 100 minus 3 is going to become a 97. And 100 minus 4 is going to become a 96. And now I'm going to put this line so I can remember what to do first. Now you can either do 96 minus 3 or 97 minus 4. You're going to get the same answer, which is 93. And now we have to multiply 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. That was super fast. If you had done the column method, that would have taken you ages. You got this in basically 2 minutes. Now, this question is for you. Can you solve it in 10 seconds? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you get an answer? Well, let's see how to do it. Now, we know 100 plus 3 is 103, and 100 plus 6 is going to be 106. So I'm going to draw the symbols. Now, 106 plus 3 is 109. And 3 times 6 is 18. So that's our answer, 10,918. Hope you liked the video, and make sure to like, share and subscribe to both my channels, Learning Time with Duty and my other channel, Reading Time with Duty. I'll see you later. Bye!